It's Tuesday's Weather for Weather Geeks, my online-only daily weather video that takes a more in-depth look at the weather for those of you who like a little more detail with your weather forecasts. These are usually done in the afternoon, of course, but I'm filling in for Jess for a few days this week, so I'm recording this bright and early at about 8:15 a.m., and here's what the radar looked like at that time. By the time a lot of you view this, the information will be a little outdated as far as the radar, but a pretty good swath of rain right along I-77 at 8:15 this morning, heading east at about 40 miles per hour. That puts it on track to impact a lot of the heart of our viewing area just before 9 o'clock, or around 9 o'clock, and then into the 9 o'clock hour in Mercer and Lawrence counties. Earlier on, we had some lightning and thunder with this. None being detected right now, though. A little bit of lightning was detected a few minutes ago. Yeah, still have some out here in extreme western Ohio, just east of Fort Wayne, Indiana. A little lightning out there. I can't totally rule out hearing a clap of thunder today, but the chances for a thunderstorm overall are not that high for today. The setup, the reason why everything's just sort of unsettled, a couple of things going on. We have a front just to our north. Let me bring up the let's bring up the dew points here. Dew points, for those of you who aren't real true weather geeks and a little new to this, kind of a measure of the amount of moisture in the air. A lot of times you hear relative humidity, but meteorologists usually like to look at dew points because it's an absolute number. It's not a percentage. You know, humidity can be high in the dead of winter, even though it's not humid out. The air can still be almost saturated. Dew point gives you a better true measure as to how much moisture there is in the air. And with dew points in the 50s in April, that's fairly high for April. It'd be a nice comfortable day in the middle of summer, but for early April, a dew point of 50 is getting up there, and dew points are into the 60s down to the south. But it's pretty easy to pick out where our stalled front is. It's kind of right in through here, and as long as this front's in the neighborhood, our weather's going to stay unsettled for a while as moisture continues streaming in from the south, going up and over this boundary, and the air rises, and clouds and precipitation are the result. Now let's show you the temperatures, because those are a story as well. It's warmer than average. We should be in the 30s for early morning temperatures at this time of the year, but we've already cracked 50 in Youngstown, on our way to about 59 this afternoon. Here's where the cold air is up to the north. Here's where the warm air is to the south, and yeah, again, front just sort of hanging out across our neck of the woods. We do have the threat for isolated severe weather today in the darker green area here. Not a real high risk today of by any stretch of the imagination, but could be a few storms that try to get to the severe criteria out across the Mississippi Valley. The better, or the higher risk, I should say, of severe weather is actually tomorrow and into parts of Thursday as well. Let's take a look at the next couple of days for the threat for severe weather. Here's Wednesday and Wednesday night. As you can see, there is a slight risk, which is a category higher than the marginal risk, which is in the dark green here. The slight risk encompasses St. Louis, Kansas City, places like that. And although we are not even in the marginal risk here locally tomorrow, the atmosphere will be unstable. It's just a matter of, do we have any sort of trigger to cause the air to lift tomorrow to get a storm going? And with our front going back to the north a bit, there's not much in the way of a triggering mechanism, even though the air over our heads tomorrow will be fairly unstable. What we mean by that is, as you go up through the atmosphere, the air cools off and turns drier quickly, and that's a sign of an atmosphere that is what we call unstable. And you need an unstable atmosphere to cause thunderstorms. So tomorrow there could be an afternoon storm, but they're going to be real hit or miss because we just don't have much of a front or some sort of a trigger tomorrow to kick off those storms. That stationary front that I just showed you where it is today will jog a little bit farther to the north tomorrow, a little farther away from us, and that will decrease the chances for some thunder here locally tomorrow. Now Thursday, here's Thursday's outlook. Better chance for severe weather in Chicago and St. Louis, up to an enhanced risk, which is a category higher than slight on Thursday. As you can see, we're in the marginal risk here. As this front comes through Friday morning, that timing suggests that our severe weather odds will be much lower than those to the west, because the front will be coming through during the warmest part of Thursday out here in the west. That's a favorable time of the day. It'll be coming through our neck of the woods Friday morning, not during the warmest, most unstable part of the day, so our severe weather risk is not as high. All right, let's back up and talk about the short term. As I like to do, first thing we like to do is just focus on the next 12 hours. There's a lot of high school softball and baseball games at this time of year. Practice is outdoors. People want to get outside if they can. It'll help you plan your day a little bit here. Let's skip ahead a few hours on our high-res model here to 11 a.m. That steadier band of rain continuing to push off to the east at that point, and we're just in these real hit or miss showers, probably late this morning. Here's early this afternoon at 1 p.m. You get the idea, hit or miss showers. As we go home from work and school later today, and maybe some of us want to be outdoors, here's 4 p.m. Not much has changed here. Today is not a washout, but there's going to be these hit or miss showers. If you're lucky, you miss them. If you're unlucky, you get under one of these showers, and your plans get ruined a little bit. Here's 6 p.m. Again, not a lot out there, but same idea. There can be a shower in a few spots. That's the story on the precipitation for the rest of today. Now let's focus a little bit on tomorrow. Skip ahead to tomorrow morning. According to the NAM model, not much going on at the start of the day tomorrow. So we get into the midday hours on our Wednesday. It's going to be warm. It's going to be even a touch humid tomorrow. But again, there's not much of a trigger around. So where the front is more centrally located up here, showers will be a little more common. Could be a couple of thunderstorms trying to go off by early afternoon in western Ohio and into Indiana. But, our odds just aren't real high here locally of much in the way of heavy showers or storms tomorrow because there's not much to trigger. Yes, there could be a shower here and there, but, again, tomorrow is not any sort of a washout. All right, Thursday then. This is when things become a little bit different. As we go into Thursday, which is the 9th, let me also throw up the isobars here, the lines of equal pressure. So give you a sense as to where the weather systems are on Thursday. Here's low pressure across Iowa. Our warm front up here and staying up there. Here's our cold front back here. Now we're going to be firmly in the warm and humid air here on Thursday. In fact, let me show you the temperatures real quickly here. Show you just how warm our models are now pointing towards it being on Thursday. Look, easy to see where the front is. Look at this. There's our front right here, and then it dives like this to the east. It's going to be a much different day in central and eastern PA than in western PA. So according to the GFS here on Thursday, 68, 70 degrees. We got 72 in our forecast for Thursday afternoon. Boy, real easy to pick out the front here on Thursday when you look at the temperature contours. All right, back to the precipitation. I think there can be a shower at any point on Thursday, and again, that severe weather risk off to our west out here, close to the cold front. Those could be some supercell thunderstorms trying to form in the afternoon here on Thursday in Illinois. But locally, again, severe weather not likely. Could there be a thunderstorm? Sure. The wettest period for us overall is going to be Friday morning and midday. Here's Friday morning, first thing. Some showers around. Here's early afternoon. Notice the showers are departing. Indians' home opener is at 4:05 on Friday, and I do think the rain is out of Cleveland by the start of the Indians' home opener. Temperatures will be falling behind our front on Friday. Our front by early afternoon will be right through here, almost right overhead, and temperatures on the backside will fall as the northwest wind ushers in the chillier air. Then we're going to have a quiet weekend coming up with some sunshine both days, so that's some good news. Real quick peek at the temperature trends as we, especially as we head into the longer range. Here's a look at the next 10 days. Overall averaging better than average. That sounds a little weird to say, but our average high temperatures here in the second week of April are in the middle 50s, about 56, 57 degrees. We're going to spend a lot of time above average for the next 10 days, taking us out through the 17th of the month. After that, looks like a pattern change, and boy, it sticks out easily, doesn't it? Look how warm a lot of the eastern U.S. is over the next 10 days, and then the following 10 days, it looks like the pattern will change again back to one that we're very familiar with, cooler than average, and this will be from the 17th through the 27th. Now, during that 10-day stretch, could there be a warm day? Sure, but the 10 days as a whole will end up probably being below average. But nonetheless, with all the rain this week, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, followed by a sunny weekend, and then maybe a little more rain early next week, we're definitely going to head into true spring here in mid-April with things starting to green up. We're going to be mowing the grass before you know it. Thanks for watching Tuesday's Weather for Weather Geeks. Full updates on social media throughout the morning, and I'll see you at noon on 21 News Midday.